Good morning, farmers, future farmers of America, and those of you who just like to watch the chaos that is all of our lives. I thought that I would just have a coffee this morning and talk to you about a few things in farm life. And I envision doing this series that's more real life events, like with farms. And today I want to talk about having baby goats because, put my coffee down. Having baby goats has been an experience, let me tell you. And one of the things I've learned during our time as farmers is that I don't know if it's because so many farmers don't use technology, or they just think some of the stuff you should just know, or it's inappropriate to talk about. But there are certain things, if you Google it, you either don't find the absolute clear truth of the matter, or you get this like dumbed down version that's like really boring and long to read, that doesn't get to the point, and that isn't fun to read or find out at all. So we're going to talk about some gross stuff today. So keep in mind, this is not the kid channel. I can say what I want. I'm going to just tell you how this works. So we got goats. We thought our goats were really young. We bought them at auction, thought they were babies. They were very small. Turns out they're just small goats, but they were already pregnant when we got them. That's fine. We eventually wanted to breed and have baby goats anyway. So you can only imagine we began doing things like Googling how long does it take to have a baby goat, blah, 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 blah. So one of the fun things we found out is that we were supposed to look for, let's back up. It takes a goat about 5 months to have a baby. So typically, most goats will have babies in 150 days. And you're going to find, and I found once that we started doing a search, that people that have never had a baby goat get really excited about it. What you won't find online is just how much time you spend walking around the yard staring at your goat's ass, waiting for a sign that it's about to give birth. Now, obviously, you're actually looking at his vagina, but that sounds way more creepy than just saying ass, so it is what it is. But we kept walking around the yard and staring at our goat's rear end, and it felt super weird. It still feels super weird. Let me just go ahead and, spoiler alert, tell you you don't need to do that. I don't know if you can actually help it. Now, if you're a commercial farmer, or you're more like my boyfriend, who is more into a lot into the money aspect of it, you may be able to just come in the house, which he doesn't. He stares at her ass too. It's very strange, actually. We both do. It's odd and uncomfortable, but is what it is. So we get very excited about baby goats. We just had our first one. Her name's Willow. She's super cute. She got here perfectly fine and safe. We were absolutely terrified of this goat when she was being born. So we look it up. We realize it's about 5 months. Because we bought this goat at auction, we have no idea how pregnant she is or isn't. So we start researching signs and things about baby goats, and we find out that we're supposed to be looking for a mucus plug. What the fuck is a mucus plug, right? So apparently female women have these too. I didn't even Google it. I've had 3 kids. I don't know what it is. I don't want to know. It sounds nasty. Anyway, with a goat, we were told that at some point close to 150 days, we would see this mucus plug, which is why we stare at her ass, and that when this thing popped out, within 24 hours, we would ideally have a baby goat. So we don't know what this is, and I'm embarrassed to say we spent a lot of time in the Google image search research finding some of the nastiest things you've ever seen, but they all just showed like these little white dots on the backside of the goat. So I can't tell you how many times we thought we saw one, and we would get all excited, and we'd watch this goat, or we'd lock her in the barn, and we did all this weird shit thinking our goat was gonna have a baby. Again, spoiler alert. Let me break this down to you. You do not need to do that. It's actually completely stupid and neurotic to do it. You could follow these goats around for like a full month or 2 longer than needed, and they're nowhere near having a baby. Now, the thing is, there is not actually a mucus plug. So we were looking for and finding things that didn't exist. Matted piece of hair, mucus plug. Piece of straw, mucus plug. We get all excited, no baby goat. So let me tell you, it's more of a state. When they say that, they just mean that there is mucus in there that will come out right before she has a baby, and they call it being plugged. And now we do think that our second goat does have like some dried up outside, which I guess arguably could be a plug, I don't know. Let me just tell you again, you're going to know when the mucus comes out. This is the part that you could not find on Google, that was not clear anywhere that I read. So the reason we kept following said goat around, staring at her ass like we're some kind of weird proctologist, is because we didn't know what that meant. Okay, mucus plug, great. What is that? When, how big is it? How long would it be obvious? We thought we needed to look for all these subtle signs. No. Let me just put it to you this way. You know when you go fishing and you keep like thinking that you're getting a bite, and then you actually get a bite and you're like, I should have known. Like, this is so obvious. Like, this thing is about to take my pole away. It's the same thing with the mucus plug. You're not walking around looking for this little tiny amount of like snot running out of your goat's backside. Let me show you what this is actually like. You're going to one day just meander through your farm and think that your goat has actually got ectoplasm coming out of their ass. It is going to be this long, disgusting, lengthy glob of goo. I'm not making this up. I'm not exaggerating. It's going to look like this, hanging out of your goat's backside. You couldn't, I'm a blind person. You could see this clear across the farm. It's going to look like that. It's going to be a 2-foot, 3-inch thick strand of the most disgusting greenish clear gook you've ever seen. It's fucking nasty. When you see that and your goat is like screaming her head off and obviously miserable, then you got a few hours or whatever, and then you might want to start watching your goat, and normally the baby just miraculously pops out. Now, if this goes on for a long period of time, we're talking like hours, and the goat's obviously struggling, then at that point you should probably call your veterinarian or have on hand what you need to do, because there are some things, but for liability reasons I'm not going to tell you what they are, because I haven't had to do that. But typically the little baby goat will just pop out, and you're just making sure their airways are clear. Mom should do that. If she doesn't, it's okay to walk up and do this. They're not fragile. Baby goats come out, and next thing you know, they're climbing on top of your pig and your hay bale and all that. But seriously, you can do it if you want to, and it probably doesn't matter that much how much I tell you not to. You're just gonna walk around the yard being creepy and staring at your goat's ass. I'm just going ahead and spoiling it for you in advance. You don't have to. You don't have to do it. If you see something that looks like a little slimy trickle or reflection or a little dry, you don't want that. That doesn't matter. That could go on for a month. You're gonna make yourself crazy. When you see that's when it's time. It's real nasty. Like nasty, nasty. Like something off Ghostbusters. Unholy, unearthly nasty. But then a cute little baby goat pops out, and in 5 minutes it's all clean and hopping around, and you don't want to get rid of it. So there you go. There's my farm tip for the day. There is no mucus plug. There's a full-blown floodgate that opens. Watch for the floodgate. Don't stare at your goat's ass. Bye.